Hello and welcome back to the DJDH Eclectic channel. If you're new, very much welcome also. And I want to talk to you today about something that really is impacting upon our health. Yes, and it's bought at the supermarkets, all the supermarkets, I'm afraid to say. And it's a cancer-producing chemical and it's killing us. And as I say, it's found in supermarket foods. Now, scientists have uncovered more than 20 products, I think it's 21 products, from UK supermarkets containing a carcinogenic chemicals, promoting a warning to British shoppers. And these processed foods are mostly derived from the eating of pigs. Yes, pigs. Now, before you all go, oh yeah, I've eaten pork for ages. Yes, and cancer takes a long time to develop in our bodies, but we must realise there's a lot of cancers around now, and there's lots, and the figures that are told to us are not the real figures. It's a much greater figure of people dying of cancers and having chemotherapy and radiotherapy and operations to remove. My sister, my brother-in-law, both had stomach cancer. They loved their processed meats, they loved their bacon, they loved their pork, they loved their sausages, and they lived to a good age, but they both went down with it. Now, okay, let me not digress any further. It's been nearly a decade since, after international health authorities raised the alarm about toxins in our processed meats. It's the processed meats, not the untouched meats, but these food companies that process the foods and they inject them, and I'll tell you a bit more in a moment, okay? So these toxins in processed meats, they're found in high street retailers, and they continue to stock nitrate-laden products. Nitrate, yes, that's the chemical that's causing the cancers. Now, laboratory analysis of 21 items, I did say it was 21, didn't I? Conducted by Food Science Fusion and Rejuvenatech specialists on behalf of the Coalition Against Nitrites, revealed that every single product contained these cancer-linked compounds. Nitrites are frequently used for the food preservation. It kills the bacteria or stops it growing. Of all the food items tested, Wiltshire ham was found to contain the most substantial nitrite concentrations. Let me tell you about Tesco's. Okay, I'm not going to just name Tesco, I'm going to name the other supermarkets as well. But Tesco's version of their ham, their sliced ham, it registered 33 milligrams per kilogram. That's 11 times higher than the 2.88 kilograms in its cooked ham, and almost 4 times in its unsmoked bacon. More than is allowed, that is. Shall I say those figures again for Tesco's? Yes, 11 times more in their ham and 4 times more than they should have in their unsmoked bacon. Now let's go further and we'll see what else we've got here. So I can't become accused of misquoting or exaggerating. I'm using the figures that have been revealed. Relatively high nitrites were found in Wiltshire ham products sold across all supermarkets, as I said. Okay, so what about, that was Tesco, what about Marks and Spencer? Now they recorded concentrations of 28.6, while Sainsbury's 21.1, followed by Morrison's at 19.2, and Asda was the lowest, that contained only 8 milligrams of nitrates in their produce. Now, the production method of Wiltshire ham involves injecting pork with nitrates before immersing in a brine, which contains nitrates. Some nitrites, don't get them mixed up, okay? So they inject into the pork products nitrates. Then they immerse it in brine, which contains nitrites, triggering a chemical reaction that converts nitrates into nitrites while imparting the characteristic of giving it the red colour. Now, it was just 10 years ago that the World Health Organization published a landmark report warning that dangers of nitrite consumption, declaring it was probably carcinogenic to humans. The dangers of processed meats are widely known, with 34,000, wait for it, 34,000 annual cancer deaths linked to nitrite-cured meats, found by the Global Burden of Disease Project in 2015. It's a lot higher now, but that's the only figure I could get. From 2015, 34 annual deaths, cancer deaths, from nitrite-cured meats. But the meat producers, the supermarkets, they're still selling it. They're not bothered about how many people they kill by continuing, obviously, from the figures. Health authorities estimate the processed meat consumption is behind approximately 13% of Britain's annual bowel cancer diagnosis. Eating, that's what my sister and her husband died from, bowel cancer, stomach cancer. 13% of all bowel cancers is behind the consumption of nitrate injection into the processed meats. I'm going to go further. Roughly 44,100 new cases identified yearly. This figure translates to thousands of preventable cancers linked to your dietary choices. I did say your, not mine. The reason is I don't eat pork. It's I'm a Christian. Christians, if you read the Bible, it says in Leviticus 23, it says, "Do not eat pork. Do not eat pigs. Do not eat rabbits. Do not eat horses and dogs and cats." It says so. It says don't eat them. So I don't, and so I am not being hit by these cancers. And I've lived a number of years. Okay, so as I say, 13% of annual bowel cancers, and that exists at 44,100 cases annually, every year. Yet, despite these well-documented health risks, and the passage of nearly 10 years since the World Health Organization's warning, nitrate-containing products remain ubiquitous, prevalent on British supermarket shelves. Retail representatives have pointed out their products comply with existing food regulations, with Tesco, which, if you remember, is the highest amount of nitrates in its products, emphasising they fall significantly below the legal limits in the UK and the EU, the European Union. And their spokesman. So I'm being balanced. I've said what's happening, but I'm now saying what the supermarket's excuses are. A spokesman added, nitrates and nitrites are an important part of curing process for some meats, and they're used to prevent the growth of harmful bacteria. I did mention that earlier, you may remember. That causes serious food poisoning. Well, why do they need to stop these things that are causing serious food poisoning? Because the food itself is not food. It's banned by God, who is the creator. You may think I'm a Christian idiot, but I am not apologising for that. It says don't eat them, so I don't eat them and I don't get cancer. Food Science Fusion Director, Ruth Dolby is her name, told the Independent News nitrites are originally used as the most effective preservatives from a food safety perspective. Now, it's strange that she said food safety perspective. She doesn't really mean that because she's against using them, and it doesn't. If if nitrates cause cancers, how is it a food safety procedure? Think about it. There are legal upper limits, she says, but there are no legal lower limits. This is what Tesco's and the other supermarkets are getting away with. There's no legal lower limits. Food science research and understanding have taken great leaps in the past 20 years, she goes on to say. We now know there are alternatives, natural alternatives, equally effective ingredients that have a less negative impact on the human body and the environment and the water courses. To reduce your risk, cancer research advises, now we've gone into cancer research, is a very well respected organisation, advise if you're eating processed and red meat most days of the week, it's a good idea to think about cutting down. Don't put so much cancer inducing ingredients into your body. To reduce, they continue, to reduce your risk of bowel cancer. So the cancer research is saying to reduce your risk of bowel cancer, cut down on the ingredients that cause bowel cancer. They're frightened to say cut it out completely. And it says consider eating processed meat as little as possible. And if you're going to eat it, eat no more than 3 portions each week. Well, that's my contribution to your health services today, and I'm leaving it up to you. It's up to you. Do you listen to what I say? Do you listen to what the scientists are saying? Do you listen to what the doctors are saying? Are you listening to what the Cancer Research Unit says? Or are you going to say, I like my pork, I like my pigs, I like my sausages, I like my bacon, and I don't mind the risk of dying, the agonising death of bowel cancer? Your comments are always welcome, and I look forward to them. And press that like button, please, and subscribe. I know you're reluctant to subscribe. I don't know why. It doesn't cost you a penny nor a cent, not even a rupee. It's totally free. Just press that like button. It helps me in my research. So until the next one, probably later on today, be safe, be healthy, be good. And from DJ, see you soon. Bye.